Yo, and welcome back to Tales of Arc. And if you're enjoying the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. But anyways, back to some Mabinogi Arcana Elemental Knight. I don't know if I should just call it Mabinogi Elemental Knight or Mabinogi Arcana Elemental Knight. I don't know. I'll probably just call it Elemental Knight, maybe. We'll see when I do it. It's going to be one of the two. But anyways, next part of the quest. Also, I have a blue druid staff. It was a hand-me-down given to me, but I feel like it would be unfair to use it because I wanted to progress the story only using the stuff the game hands to me, you know? So this Trinity staff that I found killing an ancient, only to find out later that you can buy it from Stuart, which is, I didn't know that. So, and the only exception I made was with the sword, because I had this rare appearance scroll for the Excalibur from Fate series. So I was like, yeah, even though this might get outdated later, I'm gonna keep using it, don't care. But yeah, let's continue. Lair stands up straight, greeting you beside his impeccable organized desk. Ursula, if you're here, look at this room, isn't it nice? It's wonderful, actually. It looks really good. Thank you. It was a bit cluttered, certainly, but not a terrible ordeal to clean. The Queen made all the manners of supplies available, so at least I didn't lack support. Indeed, I harnessed the power of arcane. Actually, never mind. I thought lighthearted jest might help lighten the mood, but then I thought of better of it. Pretend you didn't hear that, Ursula. The furniture you see here was also provided by the Queen. Some of it was already in the room when I got here, but the best pieces were added later to round out the assortment. The weapon in the corner over there, I actually bought myself when I was doing my own research on Arcana. I never had a good place to store them before, but it was nice to finally have a proper place for them. Ah, over there. We gotta check. Did he really buy those two shields? She doesn't even sell those. There's one more thing that Her Majesty the Queen did for me. She got us set up as a temporary association while the official paperwork circulates through the necessary channels. That will allow us to begin our work as Arcana Association immediately. Organization under the royal banner that leans towards scholarly research as classified as society, while those were a more active, practical bent are classified as association. By way of example, you may be familiar with the Royal Society of Astronomy and the Musician Alliance. On one hand, we're certainly research-oriented, as we must be in order to further develop the Arcana. However, our ultimate objective is empowering the people of the kingdom, in accordance with the Queen's heroine's wishes. So since the practical objective takes priority, she decided it would be most appropriate to designate our organization as association. The catch is, we need to provide more substantial results in order to recognize us as an official or association. Still, I'm very grateful. This would be enormously helpful in allowing our organization to grow. In fact, that's why I called you here, Ursula. I apologize for summoning you so soon after you aided me last time, but was something I wanted to suggest to you. Well, less of a suggestion and more of an offer, really. Although we may not be entirely certified yet, I'd like for you to join us as a member of the Arcana Association, Ursula. With you as our charter member, I can't imagine it would be difficult to become an official association. But it's not simply for my benefit that I'm asking you to join. When I saw you demonstrating the use of Arcana, I was sure that what we're researching here will help you develop your own abilities. From what I heard, you often take part in adventures or studies that aid in your own growth, yes? Yes? I believe Arcana will be I know, I keep switching between Arcana and Arcana. I don't know. Tomato, potato. Or is it tomato, tomato, right? Will be especially responsive to you. Or Kyogre, Kyogre. Groudon, Groundon. Helping to channel the power you already possess and blending them to the greater than their component. Ursula, as you continue to train and grow, it's my belief that the concept of Arcana itself will grow along with you. So what do you say? Will you join us in our endeavor, whatever it may lead? Not in agreement. Not like I have much of a choice, really. When you give, I mean, it's not like I would deny it. I would accept it, of course. And like, it's a win-win for me. I get stronger and they get someone to research. When you give Layer an affirmative nod, you see tension disappear from his face. Thank you, Ursula. Let's give this our best effort. Now, before I go over our general game plan, we should make sure you're up to speed on all the basic concerning Arcana. I didn't have much time for explanation before, as I had my hands full of fielding questions from Her Majesty the Queen, but I think I finally saved even her considerable curiosity. Begin the lesson. Good. There are some T-cells I need to clarify that might be a bit surprising even to someone of your experience. Before I showed you a simple Arcana that I drew, but Arcanas are not drawings. I often refer to their conceptual shape as sigils or crests, but in truth, there is nothing physical I can provide you related to Arcana. That is because Arcana aren't concrete thing. Yes, you have mentioned before, it's not really a tangible thing. It's more like an idea, a space formula or a magic sigil up in the air kind of thing, where you use your mana, energy, ki, stamina to weave that formula, that shape, so you can manifest the ability. It's essentially what I think he's getting at. You can possess Arcana, utilize them in ways that produce very real effect, but Arcana themselves are intangible. Let's say maybe it's best to think of Arcana as objects possessed by your soul, rather than by your body. They exist and perform their function at the higher metaphysical level. It all sounds rather vague and difficult to get a clear sense of, doesn't it? Not really, I understand it. But once you start using Arcana, the question of how you possess them becomes more of an academic aside. Far more important is the confidence you have that Arcana has become something that is your own, and that you can make use of as you like, not twice for emphasis. If you get all of that, I'll move right along to the next topic. Now I just mentioned that Arcana takes the form of a sigil or crest, but they're nothing unreasonably complex, like glyph or summoning circle. You're familiar with the traditional knotwork patterns that frequently appears in the weaving and metalwork in Aaron, yes? I say the design are more akin to that. Since the focus in Arcana is how two different sources of power are intertwined, the more complex the pattern, the greater the intermingling of the said power. Arcana crest can be thought of as a decorative knot that begins simply and grows in complexity. The power you possess flows along the path dictated by the crest design. To give a practical analog, you might think of the lines as a complicated system of pipes or canals, and your power as water that flows through them. Even if there's a surge in a river, a pipe or canal fed from it will regulate the flow of water based on its size. In much of the same way, Arcana we use to regulate the flow and mixing and disparate power. For that reason, one of the core goals of our research here is to find ways to enhance and reinforce the crest of the Arcana we discover. That's the best way, the most straightforward way to increase a Arcana's ability. Like I said before, Arcana isn't something one can physically possess, like a weapon or a spellbook. They exert an influence that can be felt and even measured, but have no tangible form. That's what makes this part rather difficult. The method I like to example is finding an unstable substance, something whose very material state is in flux may be able to convert into a state similar to that of Arcana. The long and short of it is, if we have some sort of energy over which we can exert control and render that compatible with Arcana, we should theoretically be able to directly alter and enhance the Arcana. Of course, I use the word substance lightly here. The energy is greater of importance than the matter, but as long as it's something we can safely handle and use, I'm willing to try. It would be best to have a self-contained energy. If possible, is there anything you've seen in your travels? Wouldn't the Stardust thing come to mind? Something like Stardust? A regulator is something due to multifarious nature and unstable, but Stardust comes to mind, given its unique energy and method already devised to ensure its safe handling. That's some excellent multidisciplinary thinking. No matter what substance we find, we will likely require some sort of regulator as well, due to the weaker force we're hoping to harness. I think something with a property of flame would suit our needs. However, the flame needs to be both unstable enough that its energy might be shifted, yet still strong enough to apply the force of that energy to Arcana. You know how to use the alchemy to change the structure of things at a fundamental level to create something entirely new. Not really, not yet. And have researched the unusual Stardust phenomenon in your dealings with the Royal Society of Astronomy. When I think of the discovery of Stardust, I can't help but wonder if a strange phenomenon of that sort had manifested somewhere rich in fire elemental energy. Perhaps there's something out there that, with proper handling, can be utilized as easily as you now harness the power of Stardust, Ursula. Lair frowns for a moment, then returns to his usual smile. I have a rough idea of how we should direct our inquiries, at least. Our next objective will be to find some object or energy strongly aligned with element of fire that we might conceive used to enhance the Arcana crest. Stardust comes to mind. Alchemy Fire Crystal comes to mind. Let's split up, Ursula. I'll sift through any relevant books to find any information that might suggest the best way to go about altering a crest. Paying a visit to... I forgot how to pronounce his name. Era at the Dumbarton bookstore should prove fruitful. She has often good suggestions for me, no matter the topic. As for you, Ursula, I'd like you to travel some region you know of that's rich in fire elemental energy, and find it if any unexplainable phenomenon have been observed for any discover. For a start, I think Aria's volcanic region would be a very sensible place to search, even if something had been found there. Word of such thing from abroad trickles back to Ula at a regrettable slow pace. I believe the Royal Geological Society has set up a long-term camp in that area, and that seems as a good place for as any to begin your inquiries. The Queen may also have heard something, as she received regular reports from the Royal Society. With that said, I skipped it. You and Leia have teamed up to find a way to enhance Arcana. Before leaving the castle, pay a visit to Irwin and ask about any reports of Geological Society that might point you towards the new phenomenon discovery. Oh man, a lot of reading. But he's explaining the way it works. I understand it, because, you know, it's like your typical stuff, really. Alright, Irwin. My queen, what do you have to say? Ursula, what is it now? I thought you gone to the Arcana Association room. Any news report from the Geological Society? Any news of any discovery? I'm not seeing any news dispatched from the Aryan camp lately. I have, however, received numerous reports of all sorts from the Royal Society of Astronomy. You think there might be been a report from the Geological Society in the last week or two? Let me see. Did I overlook its deluge of reports coming in from the Royal Society of Astronomy? They have a young member who very enthusiastic about her work. Since we get a new report from her practically every other day. Here it is. A surveyor exploration report sent by the Geological Society not a month past. Doesn't contain any confidential info, so you're free to read it. Take the report. It's pretty light report as far as these things go. Perhaps 3 or 4 pages. Oh sh. You glance down on the first page, printed at neat, clear script. Oh, back to more reading. Here, drink. Geological Society. Holiday Camp. Report 213 by Belitza. Report category: soil composition, geological activity. Nothing seems to stand out. An unusually flammable substance has been discovered in flint samples recently taken from the eastern side of the Raspberry volcano. The flame it gives off are more volatile than conventional fire, making them difficult to observe. However, given the pronounced difference in color and temperature, we suspect it be material here therefore unknown to us. The discovery was made not long ago, but subsequent flint samples collected have contained the same substance. A survey of other materials in the area did not reveal any other source from this material. A more detailed analysis of the composition is underway. Though given the small sample size, progress has been slow. This report tells the discovery of some new substance that possesses fire elemental property. Did you find anything? There are so many reports that I haven't enough hours in the day to read all over them. To read over them all myself, even if I wish to. Yes, this was really helpful, my queen. Ah, that is very good to hear. By the way, by, I presume you heard the... Is it by the by? Is that correct? Wouldn't it be by the way? I presume you heard the news that the Arcana Association has now been officially established, yes? It has only provisional status at the moment. but that will only be until paperwork has been fully processed. I expect the formality will be taken care of within the week. I may have been the one to push this new venture, but I fear I have underestimated how things will be to fulfill all the bureaucracy requirement for such venture. Thank you for all your help. Getting the Arcana Association up and running. Well then, if that's all for now, I have some matters of state I fear I can't put off any longer. Take care of you, don't overexert yourself with all your running around. Seems like Ira Volcanic Region may bring you closer to the answer you're seeking. Visit Boletta at the Kalita camp near the latest report. Alright, we're off. Maybe we bump into Raori or something. Yeah, the music is definitely still messed it up. Because I still hear the like hanging sound, the wire sound when you're in like a cave. I mean, in a dungeon or something. Well, not a dungeon, like I don't know. It's like squeaking of metal door opening. Oh, it's a dragon. Hey there, Ursula. It's been a while since I saw you around these parts. Hopefully not so long that you've forgotten about the dragon conductor though. So what brings you here today? I am seeking a new kind of flame. Huh? How did you learn about that? Have you been spending your spare time attending Royal Society conference and academic... I'm sick. Academic symposium? Oh. If you read the report, at least to save me some time. You see, unlike our first sample, later sample has shown a remarkable consistency in the flint inner temperature. However, there haven't been any factor we observed that would have been catalyzed as such change. Do you think the recent crisis in Aaron might have had some sort of unforeseen influence on the stone mineralogy makeup? I've been going over our data, but the connection to the conduction ceremony is low. The observation is still ongoing, but based on what I've seen so far, it doesn't seem to be volatile or dangerous. I have no clue what you might need of it, but we can conduct an impromptu examination right now. If you go out there and bring back a couple samples, why not go and gather 5 flint? Mine 5 flint near Raspberry Volcano. Bring them to Boletta. Alright, so welcome back, guys. You know, it said gather 5 flint. I was like, that should be easy. No. Turns out you can only do it when it rains or when the red dragon's attacking for like a few seconds. But when it rains is a decent amount of time longer. So unfortunately, I don't know how the time in Mabinogi works, because it was like, what time? It was like 11 or something. But yeah, so an hour or so passed and this thing didn't move. So I'm like, how does time works? What's the conversion between this and real time? Because it definitely wasn't this right here. At least that's what I saw. So it was like 4-5 hours or something before it started raining. So I just went and did some shopping, clean up, you know, because I had free time because it was like Christmas and shit. But yeah. So, and I played some Overwatch 2, of course. You know, playing Overwatch 2 and playing Flex, there's not a lot of people that knows how to play tank, I feel like. Because they just bust in and then they just die. And then they get mad at you saying, why didn't you heal me? Bro, how the hell can I out-heal 6v1 fight? It's not my fault that you went and then you turned the corner near their spawn and then you got bodied. It's not my fault if you pop your ult right there when everyone turns to focus on you while the DPS is out flanking or something. Bro, come on, think, use your head. It's like, I know I'm supposed to babysit them as a healer, but not to that extent. I can't control what they do if they do something stupid as hell. Like, Jesus. When I play tank, I usually poke a lot and I'll try to stay within line of sight with my healer. Because I know they're like not always going to be focused on me. They'll be like on their squishy DPS too. But when my DPS go, I gotta go too. Like my job as tank as well, to tank and to be an annoyance to them. Kind of like when I play flank DPS, to be annoying and pull their like aggro away from the rest of the team. That's my job. And then hopefully my team will come in and clutch it and kill them. or I can take out some people or kill the weakened ones. Like that's my role as a tank. Like there are some DPS characters, but being DPS tank does not mean you're like God or you have like the defense of a normal defensive tank. So it's like, because it's like I believe like I just came back to Overwatch too, so Junker Queen, Malga. Is that only 2? Wasn't there another one? Wasn't there like 3 DPS tank? I think Roadhog is one, maybe. Where he's like a hybrid because he can self-heal and sustain himself. Because when he heals, he has reduced damage, I believe. Well, me ranting about Overwatch aside, it's just what I've been noticing a lot. Maybe because I've been trying to play more DPS and get better at DPS because I'm garbage at DPS, especially with like sharpshooter characters. So anyone that requires accuracy, I am bad at. So yeah. Anyways, I mined the flint. Took a couple hours to get it because I just sat there and then I just went off and did stuff until I came back. Well done. Let's have a look, shall we? Am I recording? Yes, I am. Valenta sprinkled what appears to be rigid of the flint sample you just mined. For a crackling sound, wisps of verdant flame sprout out across the surface of the stone. See that? This green flame is proof that something new is going on in the flint around here. We never seen anything like it, at least in our time researching. In our lab, a nihilist. Sorry, dogs. In our labs, a nihilist, we found that these green flames are more unstable than typical red and yellow rarity. When we tried to separate the green flame from the surface of the flint, the flame itself just seemed to unravel, as though it was woven with luminescent threads that came undone. You see them fall away and the flame just disappear. You know the fire elemental you find every now and then? It's a lot like those. I tried to find a way to stabilize this properly and allow it to manifest independently of the flint, but no success so far. Maybe it's just a matter of finding something. Turn my fan. Oh, it is slow. I'm still sick, so yeah. That possess similar property, whatever that might be. You expect that the phenomenon like this appear because the volcanic region is unsurprisingly rich in fire activity, but it's possible that a flame like this might have popped up elsewhere, though more weakly. Here, I'll give you this to you. Use it for whatever it is you have need for. Green tinted flint from Baletta. You receive a piece of green tinted flint from Baletta. Take it to Layer, who should still be at Dumbarton's bookstore. Alright. Bro, that thing looks moldy as hell. Alright. What was I doing? Oh, that is a my. Bluish? Oh, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Oh. No, I'm not interested. Hello, Ursula. What brings you here? Is this young man a friend of yours? You see Layer clutching a bundle of documents and a thick book. The ink has already been dry on many official-looking forms. Ursula, if I see you're back from Aria. As you can see, there have been some slight delays. Look closely. Looking in to see what Layer's up to, it looks like he's been transcribing a book. Your friend here is looking for a book, a general theory on Crescent Sigil. The problem is, I'm afraid I only have a single copy. I told him I could probably sell it since it's not in great condition, or that I can lend it to him, but well, he just took out his pen and started transcribing. He's very fast, he's already copied several chapters in fact. Well, you see, in the past, I spent quite a lot of time transcribing books. It was the only way I had to continue my studies. Aww. Because he didn't have money, huh? Because didn't Neri mention that he didn't look like the type that had like a lot of fundings? And I think he feels that he shouldn't rely too much on the Queen's funding for this own thing. Because otherwise he will just outright buy the book with her money, honestly. Because it's like, can be used for the Arcana. I was focused on comprehension more than speed. But I suppose if you do something a lot, You naturally get faster at it, Oh, look at that, I'm more than half done already. Oh, I see. I was a bit taken aback, as it's been quite some time since I've seen a customer transcribe a book. It's a straightforward solution, but clever at the same time. Is this why they say necessity is the mother of invention? Anyways, I was going to finish up soon, but are you good at writing, Ursula? Unga bunga? Your writing is more horrifying than the spectra of tech doing. Even chicken scratches made by actual hands would look neater. You avoid layers gaze. There's no need to be so humble. You're full of unexpected skill. That being said, could you do me a favor? All I have left is this paper and the appendix, but my hand's cramping up. Would you mind finishing it up for me? Once it's finished, we head back. Here's a piece of blank paper for you. God damn it. I didn't want to do it. Transcribe the content of the book on the blank paper that Lear gave you. So... Transcribe? Oh, okay. I thought there was an actual book I had to click on to transcribe. Previously, some material made to serve a reference when creating a crest. Based on the theory explained before, the bulleted footnote catches your eye. The supplement is entitled Proper Fortification of Crest, while the full title of the published work is The Best of Crest, From Glyph to Arcana. Again. Proper. Damn, I can't spell for shit. Patient of Crest. That's right? You managed to do the decent job. Next is listed several precautions to take when forging a scorching crest, stressing the idea that scorching crests themselves contain energy. Scorching crest. Is there an S? I cheat? Yeah. Alright, it did contain a... Contain... G. This is pretty cool. This is a unique way of transcribing. You did a decent job. Next is... You see several tips on how to build up reinforce the Arcana crest through augmentation with Scorching Crest. The main thought being conveyed in that Scorching Crest reinforce Arcana. Scorching Crest reinforce Arcana. You transcribe the text cleanly and error-free. Moving on to the next section. Finally, there's a few... Oh my god, that's a lot. Things that one should remember when trying to draw a crest. One point that stands out to you is that the more crest reflects what it is used for, the more effective it will be. The more a crest reflects what it's used for, the more effective it will be. Yeah. God, I'm so sick. Does it matter what you write? Because right here it says the best crest intended use compared to what I said before. Does it, or were you supposed to like shorten it in your own way? Outstanding. Your penmanship exceeds even the original. You can sense Layer looking at you from behind. You're surprisingly good at this, Ursula. I think that should be enough, though. Content beyond this overlaps what materials I already transcribed. Now that we're done, we should return to your royal castle. Please excuse this error, and thank you once again for your help. Oh, anytime I was feeling bored. This was interesting to watch. Whenever you need more books, you know where the shop is. Wave to Era. I'll go on ahead, the book. This volume is quite thick and heavy, so I need to take care of in transporting it. You need to follow in haste. Ursula, I may take a while. Head to the Arcane Associate room in Wrath Royal Castle. Ursula, you seem to be breathing harder than usual. It seems that for you, the accessibility of this room leaves much to be desired. It's quite distant from the nearest moon gate, and a bit of a hike for you to have to go back and forth. I should be able to formulate a solution for that problem, but all in good time. Shall we take a look at what you brought first? I am ready. Layer nods with a slight smile. Firstly, I wanted to tell you that I compiled and bound the book I was transcribing earlier, but judging from your expression, guessing you found something interesting in Aria. I believe I spoke before finding a way to directly enhance a Arcana quest. My thought was to utilize an object with strong fire elemental property to do so. Now, will you show me what material you brought, Ursula? You hand the green tinted flame to Layer. Ah, an unstable fire, newly discovered. Seems the volcanic region is no exception to the anomalies that have been cropping up both here and overseas. Do you think it's possible to isolate the power within the stone and metamorphose it to be more akin to Arcana's own power? If we could catalyst such a conversion, creating a source of energy that was on the same wavelength as the Arcana, might the resultant energy to be able to exert a more direct influence on Arcana? But I'm getting ahead of myself. Before we can answer any of these questions, we must first ponder how we might affect such metamorphosis. Fortunately for us, I believe this book will furnish the solution we seek. The book says all that? Well, not exactly. This book just covers the idea of scorching crests and smothering threads. There's no information here on the Arcana, at least in the way I conceptualize them. Still, I believe this book has the greatest amount of information pertinent to the formation and augmentation of Arcana quests. We can use it to guide as we prod and probe exactly how Arcana are formed and how they work. The problem staring us in the face, however, is how we take the information in this book and apply it to what we're doing. On top of that, how can we convert the energy of that flint you brought, Ursula? Shall we look for the solution together? Layer walks to the lectern in the center of the room. Approach the lectern in the center of the room. Inspect the lantern. You've probably been rather curious about this ostensious looking pedestal. I paid a frankly exorbitant sum to have this custom made for the association. Discussing alchemy with you was quite helpful, Ursula, as it serves to jog my memory. We all know of centrality of ovens in the processing of alchemical material. Alchemists use their oven to alter the essence of matter, whether it be liquid, solid, or gaseous. Don't be taken aback, just stand by and watch for a moment. To the average observer, I will appear to be setting this book aflame. Oh. Pretty cool. Layer places the book on the lantern and starts a fire. Rather than going up in the flame, it seems as the book is instead coexisting with them, floating gently in the air as a fire surrounds it. Wow. I had the paper made with special element pub. The page are essentially fire retardant. Had the particular property been unnecessary, I could simply have bought a copy off the shelf. It will save me a considerable amount of money and effort too. But you have to admit, the trick of setting a book on fire and not only seeing it unharmed, but being captivated by the undulating flames does leave an impression, no? This flame is relatively weak, so it's more easily influenced by outside force. Might it be too unscientific to say that the knowledge written in the book has taken into the flame? Haha. Anyways, the important thing to know is that the flame knows what the book shows. If not already, it should soon have assimilated all the principle written here. That's interesting. So the content of the book is being etched into the flame, the magical flame. It's kind of like absorbing the formula and applying it. So then I wonder, if we absorb the knowledge from the book, will that help us like learn the Arcana? Given the weakness of the flame, however, I doubt you could use so much as light an oven with it. Now it's time to try something with the materials you generously provided, Ursula. This time we'll be looking at it from the angle of exploring the possibility, rather than expecting some elaborate transformation. The flame sways, trembling slightly as the flint is placed within it. You see small sparks begin to flash like the sun catching the shallow of the lakeshore. The flame, it moves. Layer quickly reaches into the flame, grabbing the flame that appears to have ignited. Ah, it's not as hot as it looked, which is excellent news for my hand. Dude, you just reached in without even thinking about it. I would have overreacted if I got close and then it wasn't as hot, but then it could have been worse. I believe that because it's not releasing the energy as heat. How about it? Care to try it yourself, Ursula? Okay, use the small arcana flame. A small ember that tumbles out of the arcana flame. It appears to be safe enough to touch, though as usual you have to be the first one to handle it. Come on. Just to be sure, right click. Okay. You can still feel the heat from the flame, but strangely it doesn't burn you. So the flame really doesn't hurt. Fascinating. Since this array affected you, I expect you find your compatibility with Arcana has increased. This should mean that Arcana crest you have will become much more stable from this point on. And no matter which other crest you may obtain in the future, you retain them all. Enhancing a Arcana crest you possess and unlocking links. To both provides not only possible, but very straightforward now, seeing as the flame is able to affect the Arcana directly. And from now on, you should be able to find the materials needed to enhancement anywhere. Not just near the volcano. Since you possess the energy of the Arcana flame, any incomplete sparks of the flame should have an easier time manifesting, as they should be drawn to the energy within you. These incomplete sparks will likely appear to you as long, glowing tangles of strings. They are what I identify in my research as smoldering threads. When you have enough smoldering threads, you can fuse them together to create scorching crests, which are used to enhance Arcana crests. And now all that's left is creating a crest, Arcana crest to use. Practically speaking, I can create a crest, but I think we see far better results if we develop them together with people's skill and the use of discipline that makes up the Arcana. We need to ensure that anyone with interest from you all the way down to the common folk can actually learn to use Arcana. I think we can improve their usability by leaps and bounds if we work with those who have natural talents while we're refining the design. There's some rumors here and there, things I can follow up on, or look more into deeply. There are numbers of individuals across the area who may well be worth reaching out to. Since this venture is moving forward in large part thanks to your cooperation, under no circumstances will I rush you before you're ready. It would never be too late to come see me about learning an Arcana talent once you like to get started. Doing so may delay our eventual approval and elevation to proper royal association. But I believe it's a trade-off worth making. I guess we have no choice. I thought you just had to follow the process. What was it Irwin said? You recall Irwin mentioning that Orkistan being officially elevated to the status of Royal Society or Association is just a matter of time and filling out proper paperwork. Later looks at you, hanging his head to hide his surprise and dismay. What, is that true? So when Her Majesty mentioned she needed more time, that's what she meant? Good grief. Seems that I've been laboring under a rather large apprehension. But at least now I know we'll be able to pursue our association goal at the pace we want without the pressure of delivering constant stream of results. I hope you can find a pace that's comfortable for you as well, Ursula. I already owe you much and more for your assistant. Feels like all the stored up tension is draining away now. Whew. You and me both. For the first time, I'm learning of the simple joy of having a place where one belongs. Oh, by the by, there was something else I nearly forgot to mention. Because you bask in the Arcana flame, you likely feel stronger pull to this room, since we already have such a large Arcana flame here. If you're so inclined, you can use that to pull to your advantage. You should be able to quickly move to this room whenever you have need. Thank you for all the hard work you put in for us. Come to this far. I'm excited to have you learn multiple Arcana, but you can always devote your focus to one at a time. I'll be ready whenever you are, so just come see me. Teach me the Arcana of cleaning. Damn right. I'm trying to build a rapport with you, Ursula, so please don't lampoon me too much. Aw, you. Anyways, excellent work so far. I trust you carry out the core responsibility of the Arcana Association with the same top-rated performance you always demonstrated. You can now work with Layer and the Arcana Association. You'll be able to discover and train Arcana talent for which you can receive the acquisition quest for after meeting the prerequisite. You can fuse the smoldering thread obtained in the dungeon to create a scorching crest. Use scorching crest you create to enhance the arcana. And with that, we're done with lighting the arcana flame. Ooh. Yeah, so I kind of like the story because it went into details about how it works. Like, in his thought process on how it works and with ours, and his like what he thinks and how he thinks it's gonna be. Oh, while also like demonstrating like, hey, it's like, you know, in how anime when they describe, like they're teaching a character like, hey, this is how you do this. Like, you focus your breathing into all your body part, so that enhances it. So you like, which pumps your blood, so that you can be stronger and like swing faster and harder. But like a character at the beginning, it's like, oh, it's just, you're just focusing here. It's better to focus on all your body or maintain it for a longer period of time, so you can go to so your body can slowly adapt to it. Like, it's a Demon Slayer, but in Dragon Ball Z it's like ki, but in Magic shows like mana. So it's cool how they went into details of how it works. Now I just need to unlock the Arcana. But yeah, with that, we're done for now, and we're continuing on to the next one. Anyways, thanks for watching. Love you guys, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully I won't be as sick, but I probably will because I'm about to record it.